Hi everyone. Let's analyze the characters in the play The Rover by Ephra Behn. Before we start analyzing the characters, let's see the brief summary and setup of the play. So the play opens in Naples where two Spanish sisters, Helena and Florinda, discuss love. Florinda is in love with noble but impoverished British cavalier named Belleville, while witty Helena is supposed to become a nun but longs for love. Then a group of Englishmen, Wilmore, Belleville, Frederick, arrive in Naples to enjoy the carnival. They get entangled in romantic pursuits, mistaken identities, and social games with several local women. So this is the summary of the novel, or I would say the play. And setup is also, we have discussed that it is of Naples where the carnival is organized. Now let's see introduction to the playwright. Who has written this play? Ephra Behn. So let's see the brief introduction of Ephra Behn also. Ephra Behn was the first professional female writer in English literary history. She was a playwright, poet, novelist and spy, even spy during the Restoration period. Behn used her writing to question male power, advocate for women's agency, and highlight the double standards in gender and sexuality. She paved the way for later women writers like Mary Wollstonecraft and Virginia Woolf. So basically, the playwright of this play, Ephra Behn, she is a first female writer. She writes about male power, she does advocacy for women's agency. She highlights the double standards which are there prevailed in Restoration era, how gender and sexuality play their role in the society. So she wrote about all these things, and mainly we can say that she has a great role for the further writers, women writers especially, who wanted to come in this field of writing, and some of them are given here like Mary Wollstonecraft and Virginia Woolf are the examples who followed the footsteps of Ephra Behn. Now Virginia Woolf once said, she wrote that all women together ought to let flowers fall upon the tomb of Ephra Behn, for it was she who earned them the right to speak their minds. So she gives credit to Ephra Behn in this statement. Introduction to the play. The Rover, it is written in 1677 and is a classic Restoration comedy. So this is the classic example of Restoration comedy, known for its themes of love, desire, freedom and gender roles, all set during Carnival in Naples. So this is the setting also, that Carnival is taking place in the Naples, and these kind of themes are written or are shown in the play. Restoration comedy refers to English comedies written and performed during the Restoration period. And if we talk about Restoration period, it starts from 1660 and ends up by 1710, following the reopening of theatres after the Puritan ban. So due to the Puritan ban, theatres were closed, but as soon as that this Restoration era begins, this ban is somewhere gone, and theatres are reopened now in this Restoration era, which starts from 1660, and all the plays which were written by all the playwrights and all the novelists, those who have written something to be shown, theatres were now further opened for all those. Now let's start the character analysis, for which we are going to see this video. Okay, so main characters in the play The Rover. First character, main character is Wilmore. who is called the rover also. And what does it mean? We will see. He is the titular character in the play, a charming, witty, and reckless naval captain. His nickname, the Rover, symbolizes his restless pursuit of pleasure. Okay, so someone who is a rover, who is a wanderer, who is involved in restless pursuits of pleasure. So basically, the person who is a pleasure seeker and who is involved in romantic and sexual kind of things, who has that kind of freedom, that person can be called as the rover. This is why the play has this title, The Rover, and the character of Wilmore is the title character of this novel. Now, furthermore, to understand the character of Wilmore, we will see how he is with the women. So, as I have told you that the setup is of Naples, where the carnival is organized. So, Wilmore with his friends went there, and he had close pursuit with some women like Bianca, Helena, and Florinda. So, what kind of relationship these have been? Let's discuss. So we will come to know about the personality of Wilmore that ways. So first character is of Angelica Bianca. He flatters and flirts with her, then betrays her, causing deep emotional pain to that lady named Angelica Bianca. So he flatters, he flirts, and he does not have any kind of emotions in him when he frequently cheats the women. Now next he meets Helena. Their wit back and forth defines the play. So it goes and it comes. Their wit comes back in the play and it defines the play somewhere because they both are the main characters of the play. Both means Wilmore and Helena. She challenges his libertine style and refuses to be conquered. Now the person who's a rover, who's a wanderer, who has sexual freedom and who does anything for the seeking of pleasure, for that person we can say that the one name we can say or use, that is libertine. So he follows this kind of libertine style, and somewhere Helena doesn't like it and she refuses to be overpowered with this kind of behavior, eventually winning his attention and affection. And somewhere in the Restoration era, what kind of depiction is there of all the women, that they are quite submissive and they are not talking or speaking about their rights, and they are so covered in their mannerism that they were giving rights to men that they can be handled anyways. So Helena is not that kind of personality, and eventually her that kind of behavior or presentation of behavior wins the attention and affection of Wilmore. Now next is of Florinda. Florinda, how she meets Wilmore. Wilmore mistakes her for a courtesan. Courtesan is a word for a person or for a woman who's getting paid for her company to wealthy people, to upper class people, or especially men. And he doesn't understand that Florinda is not that kind of a girl, and Wilmore nearly assaults her twice. So she was attacked by Wilmore, and showing how his lust overrides reason. How he was having a lust in himself that was beyond any reason. So these are the three women with whom he had close pursuit, and what kind of behavior was shown by Wilmore will help us to understand his character. Now, as far as symbolism and themes in Wilmore's character, let's understand. So first theme or symbolism can be Libertinism versus responsibility. Libertinism, that means when a person is having freedom in his behavior, versus how responsibility comes. So Wilmore embodies male freedom in love, but his carelessness highlights how dangerous that freedom can be, especially to women like Florinda and Angelica. So, being a male person, he is showing or depicting freedom in love, where it is somewhere dangerous for the freedom of women, especially Florinda and Angelica. So a theme can be libertinism versus responsibility, where one is showing libertinism, other has to be responsible for behavior. Now next theme can be freedom and satire. So Ephra Behn uses Wilmore to satirize the double standard in society. Okay, so what kind of double standards are there in society? She says that Wilmore can be a hero despite immoral actions, while women like Angelica are judged harshly. Okay, when a woman shows her freedom or enjoys her freedom, she is judged, whereas if a man is showing immoral actions, he can be the title character or important character, or I would say a hero of the play. So this is the double standard in the society. Now let's understand the character sketch of Helena. She is the central female character in the play The Robe. She is a young, witty, noble woman who is destined to become a nun by her family's order, but she rebels against this fate. So male-centric society is there in the play, and father and brother decided that Helena will become a nun, whereas she wants to rebel this fate or this fortune which was decided by her family members, and she wanted to explore the world and she wanted to find the true love in her life. Helena and Wilmore. Now why we are talking about this couple? Because finally they are in relationship, and this plays a very important role in the play. So how they come up, how their wit plays a great role in the play, and what kind of relationship they share. So their relationship is playful yet complex. It was going on and off, and somewhere they are inclined, somewhere they are not interested. So this plays a very interesting role, but at the same time it makes it complex also. She doesn't let Wilmore dominate or deceive her. She exposes his flaws and forces him to consider a real relationship. So she doesn't like how male or men used to dominate the females, and they frequently deceive the woman partner. She explores or exposes his flaws. She points it out, and she forces him to consider a real relationship, because somewhere she needed the commitment in the relationship. She keeps him intrigued by never surrendering easily. So she was not submissive, she was not surrendering at all, whereas she was trying, she was keeping hard to make him interested. Him means Wilmore, and which flips the typical gender dynamic. So that time what kind of dynamics were there? If we talk about the gender dynamics, we can say that women were submissive, they were dominated, they were not talking about their rights. So that kind of things were there, prevailed in the society. But somewhere the character of Helena, she flips the typical gender dynamics. As far as the symbolism and themes in Helena's character are concerned, we can say that she was depicting female desire and freedom. Helena boldly asserts her right to love and be loved, representing Ephra Behn's feminist ideals. Okay, this is for all the women writers used to write the plays to talk about the women's agency, to talk about their rights, to talk about the double standards which are prevailed in the society. So through the characters like Helena, she wants to talk about the feminist ideals. Now next we can say that critic of patriarchy. So through the character of Helena, she shows that Helena challenges her brother's control over her future and questions societal norms. So she doesn't want to go by the order of her brother and father. Next, she believes in verbal equality. She means Helena. In her witty sparring with Wilmore, she shows that women can be intellectually and emotionally equal to men. So witty talks and blows were there from the side of Helena, and she wanted to speak her mind, and she shows somewhere that she is intellectually and emotionally equal to Wilmore. Now next character is of Florinda. Florinda is the side character. She is the sister of Helena, a noble woman in love with Belleville. So she is in the love with Belleville. Now let's understand her character. She is more traditional than Helena. We have seen the character of Helena. She is bold, she is witty, she is courageous. She talks about female desires and freedom, whereas her sister Florinda, she is somewhat traditional, more traditional than Helena. Yet still she seeks autonomy by resisting her arranged marriage. Yet she is also resisting, she is also in against of her arranged marriage, which was decided by her brother and father. Victim of male aggression. Somewhere she was victimized by the male aggression which was shown by Wilmore. She narrowly escapes sexual assault twice, highlighting the vulnerability of women in a patriarchal society. How their condition was so weak in patriarchal society, it is shown through her character. Now next is embodiment of romantic virtue. Now her character talks about romantic virtues. She values true love and remains loyal to Belleville, contrasting with the more rebellious Helena. Okay, so she is loyal in the relationship, and she is not at all rebellious like her sister. So a very contrasting character is there of two sisters, Helena and Florinda. Now let's understand the character sketch of Belleville, who is the romantic hero, English royalist and ex-soldier. His character is of a romantic hero. Belleville is the quintessential romantic hero of the play. His quintessential means a perfect example of a romantic hero in the play. He is deeply in love with Florinda and remains loyal and honorable in his pursuit of her. So while following her, while knowing her, he remained loyal and honorable throughout, which sets him apart from more libertine characters like Wilmore. So his character is in contrast with the character of Wilmore, who is a libertine character. Now next is idealized male figure. Ephraim presents Belleville as an idealized male lover. So what kind of a male should be and what kind of attributes he should carry, it is depicted through the character of Belleville. So he is the idealized male figure here because he is respectful, constant and deserving of love, perhaps to criticize or balance the more typical libertine male figures of Restoration drama. So Restoration dramas were filled with libertine characters like Wilmore. So to balance the things, she has shown or discussed or involved characters like Belleville in her plays. Now the last character sketch which we are going to see is of Angelica Bianca. Okay, now let's understand. A woman of beauty and influence. If we talk about her character, we can say a famous courtesan she is. Angelica Bianca is a renowned courtesan in Naples, known for her beauty and the high price she charges for her company. Okay, so she gets paid for her company to people who are, or to males who belong to upper society, upper class, or who are wealthy person. Now next, emotionally vulnerable, but she is emotionally weak. Despite her strong exterior, Angelica is emotionally vulnerable. She carries a strong personality, but it was only outside. Emotionally, she was weak. When Wilmore wins her heart with flattery and charm, she falls genuinely in love with him, abandoning her usual caution. So she forgets her usual caution when she keeps the emotions aside from her business, from her profession. She forgets that and she comes in the flattery and charm of Wilmore, and she starts genuinely loving the character of Wilmore, and there she was trapped. Now next, we can say that she is symbol of female struggle. Angelica represents the complex position of women in a patriarchal society, especially those who trade on their beauty. She seeks love and respect, but society only views her as a commodity. So she seeks, or she thrives for love and respect, but society only unfortunately views that kind of people as a commodity. So this is how the character of Angelica Bianca is there or perceived in the novel or play written by F. Rabin. That's it for this video. I hope you have liked it. If you find it useful, share it with your friends. If you are new to the channel, do subscribe it. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.